Okay. So what is a code coverage? Code coverage is a metric that helps the entire team how much of your source code is tested by your automation test cases. What is the source code? Who will write the source code? Developers. Who will write the automation test cases? Automation tester. Is this clear now?
Mm-hmm.
Your application code is written by developers. Any doubt on that? Ranjit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Application code is written by developers or programmers. Any questions on that? Are you clear?
No. Yeah, it's clear so far.
But automation test cases. So automation test case, when you will write after manual testing, when you are testing manually, that is done, then automation testing will start. That automation test cases will give the report for you. So how many lines of code you executed by your automation test case, and how many loops, if conditions you covered, how many functions you called, and all this will be calculated when you run the automation test. Then who will give this report? So the code coverage report is given by, there are some tools, predefined tools based on the programming language the application developed. So code coverage tools will use one or more criteria to determine how your code was exercised or not during execution of your test suite. The common metrics that might see mentioned in your code coverage report is function coverage. Function coverage means how many of the functions defined have been called by automation test case. Okay, how many functions developer has written, how many so called by automation test case. Statement coverage, how many statements in the program have been executed. Then branch coverage, how many of the branches of the control structure have been executed. So if statements, for example. Condition coverage, how many of the Boolean sub-expressions have been tested for true and false values. Line coverage, how many of lines of source code have been tested. So those will be, these are all the report you will be going to get in the code coverage report. So that is the code coverage report, how you will get. Let me show you the code coverage report. This now. Can you see here?
Mm-hmm.
Statements. So total 6 statements are there, 5 executed. Branches, 2 branches are there, 1 executed. That's why 50% you got. Functions, 1 function, there are 100% so executed. Lines, so there are 6 lines are there and 83.33%, 5 lines executed. That is the total different report you will get like this.
Mm-hmm.
Code coverage report you will get like this. Automatically, this is included in the code when you execute the automation test case. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on the programming language, it will change. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you have a different, this is the main report. You will get like this. Report wise, okay, how many lines of code is there, and so number of lines, so number of functions, so all this you will get a total application direct report you will get like this. You can easily track it. So what are the different tools are there? So you have a Java. If you're using a Java application, okay, your application is designed by Java programming language. We have a Jacaco, Codecoverage tools you can install in the pipeline or in your code automatically. These tools will give the report, this above report, these reports.
Mm-hmm.
Next, if your application is a JavaScript application, Istanbul blanket.js, these two will, any one of them, okay, you don't need both. So they will give the report for us. Then PHP unit is there. Python coverage.py is there. So Ruby simple cov is there. So all these tools will give the report. So any based on the application designed by which programming language, those things you can use. Okay. So based on that, you see, if anything is not covered, you will get a red mark like this. So this is how the code coverage report is a very important. And so if that means you are not testing, if it is a red mark means you are not testing this part. You are not testing this part. You are not testing this part. They will easily track it out. That means you need to improve your test cases. You need to write automation test case by covering those. And you can sit with the development team, how you can cover that, that lines of code. You need to discuss with them and improve your test cases. That's how the, this automation test case and code coverage, you will get it. Okay. So that's all white box testing, completely automation. So black box testing is a functional manual testing. White box testing is a automation testing. Good.
Good so far.
Yeah. So that's the main concepts. And last one is a gray box testing. So if you want this differences, some of the differences you can find it out. Let's see a few of them. Okay. So we don't want to go everything, but we can cover a few of them at least. What is the difference between black box testing and white box testing? The main objective of this black box testing is test the functionality or external behavior of the application. That's what you are going to test in the black box. White box testing objective is you are testing the internal structure of the application. Internal structure. You will test it in the white box. Black box testing can be performed by a tester without any coding knowledge of the application. You don't need any coding knowledge to test the black box. So white box testing should have the knowledge of internal structure and how it works, you should know. So black box testing can be performed only on using the GUI. So white box testing, you don't need UI. So if you have code already, you can test it. Testing can be done at early stage before the, so it gets ready, right? UI gets ready. You can test even without UI ready also. Because the application is there already, API is something they will develop and you can so plan it. And black box testing cannot cover all possible inputs. White box testing is thorough and it can test all the possible cases. Some black box testing techniques include boundary value analysis, equivalence class partitioning, decision table testing, state transition testing, error casing. And some white box testing techniques are conditional testing, statement coverage, basis path testing, loop testing. So data flow testing, you can use them to test that. And black box testing, test cases should be written based on the requirement specifications. In the white box testing, test case should be written based on the detailed design document. So test case will have more details about input conditions, what are the test steps, what is the expected result and test data. So test case will be simple with the details of the technical concepts like statements or coverage. In the black box, this is performed by professional software testers, and white box testing is responsibility of software developers and automation testers, both. Programming and implementation knowledge is not required for black box, and programming and implementation knowledge is very much required in the white box. And so black box testing mainly used in high level testing like acceptance testing, system testing, regression testing. And white box testing mainly used in low levels lab testing like unit testing, integration testing. So you will use this. And black box testing is less time consuming and exhaustive. Exhaustive, why you are calling exhaustive? Because you have to test it so manually, right? That's why it is more exhaustive. And white box testing is more time consuming and exhaustive. So that is also takes more time. But once you develop, then it's very easy. So test data will have wide possibilities. So it will be tough to identify the correct data. And so it is easy to identify the test data as only a specified part of the application is focused at a time. So these are the some of them. Whatever you know, just go through them. Some of the high level points you make a note. Okay, not required everything. And code access is not required in the black box, but code access is required for you. So these are the some of the main differences between black box and white box testing. And the black box is mainly will focus on the how application is working. And white box testing main focus is whether the particular paths are so covered or not using automation test or not. You will check that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, gray box testing. So what is gray box testing means? So we have seen black box testing, that's external behavior will test. White box means internal behavior will test. Gray box means the person who is having both black box and white box testing techniques, then you will use a gray box testers. So who is having a black box and white box testing skills, then we'll use a gray box testing concepts. That's the gray box testing means. So if you are good both manual testing and automation testing, then you can call that gray box testing. Okay. So that's it. All the testing techniques. And Monday we'll start the test case design. What is a test case? How to design the test case, and then we can close. So these another very important topics are test cases. Mainly you need to work on test cases only, and then how to report the defects. So that I'll show you that how to file the defects, those things also. Okay.
Sounds good.
So we'll close as early as possible this manual testing. Then we can start the core Java.
Sounds good.
Okay. So okay.
Yes.
But this weekend you need to spend some time, brush up all the concepts. Okay. So what are all the concepts you need to brush up? Is test plan 1 you need to read, test levels. So you need to explain smoke testing, retesting, regression testing, and component testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing. All these testing types you need to read and come back. Okay.
Perfect.
And test plan content also and testing techniques. These are all things pending from your side. You have to finish all of them. So please spend some time, come up with so having some fair knowledge on the testing techniques also.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.